Shame versus guilt. Understanding the difference that could change your life. In this video, I'm going to be speaking about one of the most important distinctions in the field of behavioral psychology, emotional intelligence, coaching, and neuro-linguistic programming, NLP. The distinction between shame and guilt. This distinction has the potential to completely change your understanding about yourself, your relationships, your behaviors, and your personal growth. Many people use these words guilt and shame interchangeably. Psychologists do not, and coaches should not, must not. And if you're interested in learning about emotional intelligence, personal development, coaching, or neuro-linguistic programming, then understanding this distinction is critical. Shame and guilt often feel similar, but they lead to completely different outcomes. One tends to support learning and growth, and the other creates emotional suffering and self-sabotage. So let's take a look at this simple question. What happens inside your mind when you make a mistake? Does your mind say, I made a mistake? Or do you start thinking, I am a mistake? This single difference lies at the heart of what I'm going to be discussing in this video. Let's start with guilt. Guilt is connected with behavior. A person violates a value, breaks a commitment, makes a poor decision, hurts someone, or acts in a way that conflicts with their standards. As a result, they feel guilty. The focus remains on behavior. The internal message is, I did something wrong. Notice that the person's identity remains intact. They may dislike the behavior, they may regret that action, that decision, but they do not condemn themselves as a human being because of that. For guilt, the focus remains on behavior, and hence guilt often creates motivation for corrective action. The person apologizes, learns, repairs, adjusts, and grows. In this sense, guilt often serves as an adaptive function. It helps us align our behaviors with our values. Now let's contrast that with shame. Shame does not primarily focus on behavior. Shame focuses on identity. Instead of saying, I did something wrong, the message becomes, there is something wrong with me. This is a fundamentally different psychological experience. The person's attention shifts away from their behaviors, from their actions, and goes towards their self. The mistake is no longer the problem, the self becomes the problem. And this is where things become very dangerous, because identity level conclusions are far more powerful than behavioral level conclusions. Let's look at a simple example. Two people, they make exactly the same mistake at work. The first person experiences guilt. Their internal dialogue might sound something like this. I handled that badly. I need to learn from this. I need to fix this. Notice the orientation. The focus is on the behavior, the action, and the learning they can get from it. Consider the second person who might experience shame instead of guilt. Their internal dialogue will sound something like this. I'm incompetent. I always mess things up. People must be thinking I am useless. Notice what happened. The event was exactly the same for both these people, but the meaning each one of them assigned to it changed from one person to another. And once meaning changes, emotional experience changes as well. This is where NLP becomes incredibly useful. One of the central ideas in NLP is that people do not respond to the reality as it is on the outside, but rather respond to the internal representation they create of that reality. The same event can create completely different emotional experiences based on the meaning that is attached to that event. Guilt and shame illustrate this perfectly. The event remains the same. The interpretation is not. One interpretation creates responsibility, the other creates self-condemnation. One creates learning, the other creates suffering. One focuses on behavior, the other attacks identity. Now let's connect this to emotional intelligence. Many people assume emotional intelligence is about controlling and regulating your emotions. But even before that, emotional intelligence begins with accurately identifying your emotions. If you cannot distinguish between guilt and shame, you cannot respond to either one with any level of effectiveness. When guilt is present, the useful question is what needs to be repaired? What can I learn? What action should I take? But when shame is present, a different question becomes important. What am I making this mean about myself? This question reveals the identity level conclusion that is driving the emotional experience. Let's explore another difference. Guilt promotes connection, shame promotes withdrawal. When people feel guilty, they want to make amends. They want to reconnect, repair the relationship, rebuild trust. And when people feel ashamed, they want to hide. They want to withdraw, avoid, disappear, protect themselves from judgment. This is why shame is associated with secrecy. That person does not simply want to avoid discussing the behavior, they want to hide themselves away. They want to avoid exposing themselves because shame feels personal. This distinction has enormous implications in coaching. Many clients arriving thinking that they have a motivation problem, a confidence problem, a discipline problem, a consistency problem. But many times it is a problem of unresolved shame. A person is not avoiding action because they are lazy. They are avoiding the action because failure represents a threat to their identity, to their sense of self. Because when identity is threatened, avoidance becomes a way of self-protection. Understanding this completely changes the direction of coaching. It also changes how we think about personal development. Many self-help approaches focus primarily on changing or fixing behaviors. But behavior is often the final expression of something deeper. Behind behavior sits beliefs, and behind beliefs sits identity. And shame lives at the level of identity. And that is why sustainable change, sustainable personal transformation requires way more than behavioral techniques. It requires examining the meaning we have attached to our sense of self. I want to clarify something over here. The goal is not to eliminate guilt, nor is it to pretend that mistakes do not matter. Personal growth requires accountability. Maturity requires responsibility. Emotional intelligence requires self-reflection. The goal is not to remove accountability. The goal is to detach accountability from self-condemnation. to be able to admit I made a mistake without making it into I am a mistake. This is one of the healthiest psychological skills a person can develop. So if there is only one idea that you take away from this video, let it be this. Guilt says, I made a mistake. Shame says, there is something wrong with me. Guilt focuses on behavior. Shame focuses on identity. Guilt promotes learning. Shame promotes hiding. And understanding this transforms the way you understand yourself, your relationships, and your emotional life. I'm going to leave you with a reflection question. Think about a mistake that you made in your past and still live with it. And then ask yourself, am I carrying the guilt of what I did? Or am I carrying shame about who I believe I am? Take some time to sit with this question. The answer reveals the real source of your emotional pain. Thank you for watching this video. Bye for now.